Well, it's been a little while. That's all right, though. I'm gonna do another tasting session today. I and a little update on my weekend. I went to the gun show in Reno, which was this last weekend. We just went one day. It was me and my dad went. Excuse me, sorry. It was just one day. Um, got some parts. I'm putting together. I'm kind of piecing together a Winchester Model 70, a pre-64 Winchester Model 70. And the reason why I say that is because my dad had the barrel in action that he got from somebody. No stock. I think it had a trigger guard, has a trigger guard and a floor plate on it, but they're kind of trash. So I found a stock. It's a 1941 to 1480, or it's a 41 to 48 action. Um, so it's kind of a specific stock you're looking for, and they're real hard to find. Well, I found one about 4 months ago, 3, 4 months ago. So I've been working on that. It was kind of in rough shape, and I wanted to bring it back to a little bit nicer shape because it's not the original stock that came on the barrel in action anyway. So I'm not really worried about keeping it super original, like original condition and everything. And it's already been cut. I think it's been cut and had a pad put on it anyway. So I figured, it's not a big deal if I want to, try to restore it a little bit and make it nice because it's not original anyway. It'll never be original. Um, so I found a really nice trigger guard and a really nice floor plate. So that's good. So I found some parts. Also found a couple knives, um, which I'm planning on probably incorporating into my next video because I actually don't have them here with me. They're actually at my dad's place. Um, so hopefully I remember to do that. I think every once in a while Timber Drifter will watch a video of mine. I think he's commented at least once or twice. So hopefully he's around, and when I show those knives, hopefully he sees them because I think he'll like them. Um, that was a good time. I got a little food poisoning on Friday night into Saturday, so that kind of sucked. But we went to the gun show Friday, so didn't affect that at all. Anyway, today for the tasting session, I'm smoking Cornell and Diehl Chenet's cake, and I'm smoking in a little Castello little opera pipe. It's like a double K, I think. This stuff smells so good in the tin. When I first popped the tin, it smelled a little bit too musty and earthy for me, but as the tin's been open, it's gotten a little more air and stuff like that. It's just that sweet sour grass. Mm. I love that smell, that sweet sour grass note. It's so good. Um, so it says, I usually don't read these, but named in honor of Pierre Chenet, the farmer are credited with discovering the process that turns burley into perique in 1824. Cornell and Diehl Chenet's cake is a combination of Virginia and perique pressed into an old-fashioned crumble cake. So, like I said, it's a crumble cake, and this is basically what's left. There's a little bit of loose in there. I probably got realistically another bowl or two left. But I've really enjoyed it. I don't think it's anything like, to me it's not anything like extraordinary, um, or excellent, but I think it's very good. There's a lot of perique. You can really tell, and it's at times peppery, at times it's earthy, at times it's more savory, like sweet and sour mushroom type. It's that kind of vibe. Um, Typically, I prefer my Virginia Periques to be, the Perique to be more on the peppery side, spicy peppery. That's kind of like the cigars I like are the same way. I like kind of like a more spicy, peppery cigar. I really like a spicy, peppery um, pipe tobacco. And generally, I do, I'm okay with, I can recognize and appreciate an earthy Virginia Perique or more of like a mushroomy Virginia Perique, but um, my preference is more of like a peppery, spicy Virginia Perique. And I actually personally think that you get that a little bit more when the Perique is used a little bit more sparingly. Kind of comes across more as like a black pepper. Also, probably depends on the type of Perique that's used. But I found, at least in my personal experience, that the more Perique that's used, the more sort of earthy it is. I mean, it's still peppery, but you get more of that overwhelming earthy note. And I do believe that there's a pretty good portion of Perique in here, like pretty heavy portion. So um, I don't know exactly how much, but I would imagine it's a pretty good amount, especially if they're trying to pay homage to, the guy that created Perique. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Um, I haven't bought any pipes or tobacco recently. I'd say in the last, probably since the last time, whenever I uploaded a video last of me doing a box opening. Um, I buy maybe one or two pipes a year, maybe, one or two tobacco orders a year, depending on, what I come across. If I come across some special stuff, maybe I'll, make a special order. But I don't know how many tins of tobacco I smoke in a year. If I had to guess, I'd say somewhere between 10 and 20 tins of tobacco that'll actually finish in a year. So I really don't need to buy a lot, to kind of replenish and keep aging. Because I generally smoke a pipe just about every day, but for the most part, I'm smoking one bowl a day, maybe two on like a heavier day on a weekend. If it's raining and I'm just kind of in the garage or I'm putting it around where it's not raining or something like that, maybe I'll get three bowls in, but that's pretty rare. I know there's people that probably smoke, that put me to shame with the amount of tins they smoke in a year, but they got 100 pipes and they're smoking. They got a pipe going all day long. Maybe one day I'll get there. But yeah, Chenet's cake. I will say, I generally dog on Cornell and Diehl's cuts and their cakes and their plugs and Even their loose tobacco a lot. I just, you know, I have not made it a secret that it's not my favorite, even though I do appreciate some of the blends. Um, but I will say this one, this crumble cake, I actually really enjoy this crumble cake. If I had to say out of all the Cornell and Diehl um, offerings and how they offer tobacco, like whether it's a ribbon or a broken cake or plug or whatever, I think I like this crumble cake the best. To me, it just seems very consistent. Um, it's very nice, very neat and tidy. It doesn't break apart unless you want it to. And then when you do want it to, it's easy to get apart and it's easy to work with. Um, so I do appreciate that. But yeah, the flavors, it's a good Virginia. It's good Virginia backing. And it's got a really, really nice, high quality, feeling of perique. Like that perique really feels like it's a nice, high quality leaf, and I like the proportion. I like the flavor. I like them mixed together. It's just a really good solid blend. Like I said, nothing I don't think that's extraordinary or excellent, but I just think very good, very solid. And for people that are um, have been a little bit more light on the perique in the stuff that they've tried, I think would be a this would be a good. I think this would be a good transition to something like maybe a little bit heavier on the perique. Uh, I think it'll be a nice transition for you. You'll kind of get some different notes and some different things in there, which I think you might find interesting. So I think it's a pretty solid option for sure, and definitely would age well. I would say that these tins, you give them 10, 15 years, and they're gonna be very, very good. Mine, when I opened it, was a little over 5 years old, and it's pretty good. So I think you give it 10, 15 years. If you're able to buy like 10 tins and sock some away and forget about them, I think in 15 years you're going to be very happy with yourself, because it's only going to get better and it's just going to really, really, really get good. So, anyway, till the next one, that's pretty much it. Chenet's cake, it's good stuff. And hopefully I'll remember to show some pocket knives on the next one. Until then, adios.